خطاك ارتاحتا في خاطري واحتمى طيرك في الظن وحمد فتاك ارتاحتا في خاطري واحتمى طيرك في الظن وحمد نقلة في الزهر أم عندلة نقلة في الزهر أم عندلة أنت في الصحو وتصفيق يمان أنا إن أودعت شعري سكرة كنت أنت السكب أو كنت المدام سائليني سائليني يا شباب رد لي من صبوتي يا بردا رد لي من صبوتي.
Syrian Arab Association in Canada here, and also I want to say welcome you first for the first speech to Mr. Munir Luis, the leaders for Syrian Arab Association in Canada. Thank you.
Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue et merci à tout le monde qui sont venus pour nous appuyer avec notre rallye aujourd'hui. Quelques gouttes de pluie ne nous empêchent pas de venir, solidarité avec notre peuple, avec les réfugiés syriens, avec nos proches et nos parents. Merci à tout le monde. C'est avec un cœur brisé et avec des larmes aux yeux qu'on regarde les images et les vidéos qui circulent partout dans le monde entier et qui montrent des réfugiés syriens sur les frontières de plusieurs pays et des naufragés sur les rives des océans.
In Syria, there is a Syrian crisis. But in Canada, here with us, there is a Canadian crisis. A very obvious and important Canadian crisis. And it's a political crisis. How did we allow our government to support terrorists in order to destroy a nation in a covert war? That is a crisis. How did we allow that? How did we allow Canada to become subservient to the United States in its geopolitical machinations, in its wars against nations, destroying entire nations? How did we allow our government to fully participate in that? To fully participate in illegal wars that are illegal, that are against international law, wars of aggression, even though they are covert, even though we receive all of these covers of lies about what these wars are. Our government is supporting these actions. How did we allow that? And how come we allow our governments to decide who will represent the Syrian people? This is an abomination. Why would our government decide who can represent another people? So this is part of the Canadian catastrophe. Stephen Harper said that the solution, the best solution to the Syrian crisis of refugees is more war of destruction. In my opinion, that qualifies as hate speech. This is speech that incites mass murder. This is speech that incites more war. There is a criminal code in Canada, and it has a provision against hate speech. And Harper himself changed that criminal code to include speech against nations and countries. I think that if we lived in a
right now is because of the refugee crisis. But that crisis was caused by war and climate change. And climate change itself is in part caused by war. So I want to read you a statement. I think some of you may have seen this, but I think it really describes well the confusion that has been created. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about what we can do to try to get through that. So we might be confused about why our governments are bombing Iraq and Syria. So to try to make it clear, we support the Iraqi government in the fight against ISIS. We don't like ISIS, but ISIS has been supported by Saudi Arabia, whom we do like, and Saudi Arabia is now supporting us in bombing ISIS. We don't like President Assad in Syria. We support the fight against him, but not ISIS, which is also fighting against him. We don't like Iran, but Iran supports the Iraqi government against ISIS. So some of our friends support our enemies, and some of our enemies are our friends, and some of our enemies are fighting against our other enemies whom we want to lose, but we don't want our enemies who are fighting our enemies to win. If the people we want to defeat are defeated, they might be replaced by people we like even less. And all this was started by us invading Iraq to drive out terrorists who weren't there until we went to drive them out. We hope you now understand. So basically what this talks about is there is a basic humanity that we all share.